Good morning, everyone. I forgot to record a little intro bit like I do on all of my vlogs, kind of explaining what I'm doing for the day, because I just forgot. It's that simple. So anyway, today is kind of a full-on day. It's a little bit busier than normal. Not really in terms of number of tasks or things that I had to do, but the fact that I had to balance between two different projects was a lot. And also, I had to talk to people and sometimes, talking to somebody and it's just one-on-one and it's about your project and there's a lot of mental thoughts that have to go through. You have to be able to think very quickly and very efficiently. It can be rather draining. So yeah, I had a lot on today in that kind of a sense. So I thought I would go ahead and bring you with me in order to show you a day that isn't just sitting at a cafe for a couple of hours. So anyway, we start as always recently with my 4 a.m. writing schedule routine thing. Today I was actually working on a bit of a new thing for me. I'm trying a short story creative nonfiction-y thing out. I was actually going through some old files of mine back from my undergrad. I was trying to find some of the papers that I did in my religious studies degree because there was a reference that I used and I wanted to re-pull out for a future video essay that I'm doing. But I couldn't find it, but instead I found an old short story that I wrote for one of my writing classes. And I remember really hating this at the time and I thought it was really bad, and it still was really bad, but there was a scene that it started with and I basically was trying to work everything around this scene and it just didn't really work. But re-looking at it, I had a completely new idea for this scene. So today I am plotting out what I want to do with this short story going forward, starting this scene as my moment of inspiration, and then I even wrote the first 500 words. Once I was done, I had my normal morning routine, which involves my morning walk. And one of the things I had to do was go to one of the local bakeries. It's a chain, I know, but they have the most delicious sourdough. So I picked up a giant round of sourdough for dinner for a couple of nights, but it was delicious. I had about enough time when I got back in order to have some breakfast as well as to prep for my first thing that I had to do today, and that was the fact that I had a call online for an interview for my tabletop role-playing game project. So I'm still in the very early stages of doing interviews with participants. So it was really fun. It's still in that stage where I'm just kind of along for the ride of what people are saying. I'm just kind of having a really great time. I don't have very many guiding questions. All of my research is done unstructured interviews. If you want more information on that, you can watch some of my actual research explanation videos that I have done. But yeah, I didn't record very much of this interview because for, obvious reasons, I was trying to protect the identity and the information of the participant who was talking to me. So I don't have very much on that. But afterwards, after I kind of cleaned up everything, I wrote in my Fieldwork journal. Fieldwork journals are really important for anthropologists and researchers, and a lot of what we do is reflective in that, and it allows space for us to be thinking about the project, about how things feel, because obviously people feel things and that's important. So yeah, I got to reflect a little bit about that interview in my Fieldwork journal. I also had some proofs for the cosplay book due today, so I only had one more chapter left to do, so I had to kind of rush and finish it. So after I wrote my journal, I pulled up the proofs for the cosplay project and I quickly finished making my notes on them. Basically, this is the penultimate proofs before the actual, like, we can't touch it, it's going off to print proof. So I guess the third to last proof. I don't know. I don't know the length. But basically, this is the proof where we can actually make changes. The next set of proofs, it's going to be really difficult to do that. It's basically just adding things in like photo acknowledgements and indexes, and then it's off to print. So yeah, this was a very important proof to go through. So I did take my time going through the last chapter that I needed to go through. And make the changes, and then I went ahead and sent it off to the publisher. So after that, I pulled out a notebook in order to make some quick notes. Later today, I am meeting with the publicity and marketing director of Reaction Books, who is the publisher with my cosplay book, and I needed to make sure that I jotted down the questions that I knew I wanted to ask. I have to write them down or else I'm going to totally forget everything, and I'm really glad I did, because in the interview I did almost forget a couple of things until I looked at my paper and went, oh, that's right, I was supposed to ask about this. So I had to really think about what was it that I was wanting to make sure that we covered, what were the questions that I had, and what are the points that I want to make sure are hit and explained. So I wasn't massively hungry, but I was a little bit nibbly, so my kind of late lunch break was just some toast. And what I did while I ate that toast was I actually went and sent out some requests to interview as well as to watch some actual plays as part of my fieldwork for the tabletop role-playing game. So as you can see, we're doing tabletop role-playing game to cosplay back to tabletop role-playing game, and then we're going to jump back to cosplay afterwards. So, as I said afterwards, I am meeting with a publisher, my publisher, well, the publicity people for my publisher. So I had to go through the questions, make sure that I knew everything. The publicity and marketing is, I think, one of the most important parts of this process. And so I had a lot of questions and a lot of things that need covered, and we basically had to talk about what the next steps are and who's doing what and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm really glad I'm having somebody really work with me. I really liked them, and they were very kind about my book, very knowledgeable and very deferential to me and my knowledge as well, which is always nice. I don't always get that. So I had a very good meeting. And one of the lovely things that I learned in this meeting was that my cosplay book, Cosplay and the Dressing of Identity, is now available for pre-order from Reaction Books. I'm going to be making a much bigger deal about this on social media and probably on here a bit later, but you'll be the first to know before I post all of that out. You can go pre-order my book right now. How exciting is that? Hello. Okay, I just got off the call with my publisher's publicity team and all of that, and I am now tired. I've had a full day. It's been a busy day, but I'm glad I got to share it with you. Unfortunately, my life is not always just chilling at coffee shops for 3 hours and writing a book. It's criminal. I know that should be my life constantly, but unfortunately there are other things I have to do. And this was quite a busy day, and I wanted to be able to share that with you. I had a lot of tasks to do, I had a lot of things to finish, and a couple of meetings. I know 2 meetings doesn't sound like a lot, but they were both very mentally taxing meetings in the sense where it was a lot of stuff that I had to think about and timelines I had to make or research I had to do and be thinking about and maintaining. And that can be quite a lot to balance as well. And it's just me and one other person as opposed to, you know, a giant team of a load of people that are all sharing information all at the same time. It means that I have to carry quite a lot of the load. So yeah, it's tiring, but I finished my proofs. Proofs have been sent, so that means that there's only one more set of proofs as the final, and then that's it. And then publication. And then we got to talk about all the stuff that's going to be happening leading up to and right after publication with the publicity team, and started to do the research for the next one that's going to be coming after this. So, you know, it was a good day. I think it was a good day at the end of everything. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. As always, I do like having you here. Balancing the camera does make me feel a little bit like somebody else is giving a shit about what I'm doing. So yeah, thanks for coming with me and spending time with me. I do enjoy it. And do all the YouTube stuff, as always, and be good to one another, and take naps when you need to take naps. And I'm going to go read a book. And that's it. Thank you. Bye.